You know Jon Stewart, right? 16 years on The Daily Show, the highest paid late night host in all of America. $25 million every single year. More than Jay Leno, more than David Letterman, more than all of them. 22 Emmy Awards, 2 Grammy Awards, the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor, the highest honor in comedy. Presidents sat across from him, Nobel Prize winners, world leaders. For 16 years, he was the most trusted voice in America, not just in comedy, in truth. But here's something most people don't know about Jon Stewart. Behind all that brilliance, behind all that wit, was a boy who grew up in a broken home. His parents divorced when he was 11 years old, and his father just disappeared from his life. Jon was so hurt by that abandonment, so determined to separate himself from that pain, that he legally changed his last name from Leibowitz, his father's name, to Stewart, his middle name. He built himself from scratch, with nothing but his mind, his heart, and an unshakable belief that the world could be better than it was. And he spent 16 years on that desk proving it every single night. But then one day he looked around all of it, the desk, the cameras, the $25 million, the most powerful platform in late night television, and he walked away. No drama, no farewell tour, no goodbye special. He just left. And here's what he did next. He and his wife Tracy, who had been quietly, persistently, lovingly nudging him toward compassion for years, went vegan together and bought a 45-acre farm in New Jersey and turned it into an animal sanctuary. Rescued cows, pigs, sheep, chickens, goats. Animals that came from factory farms, abused, discarded, forgotten. Animals that had never once in their lives been treated with kindness. Jon showed up for them every single day. He gives them belly rubs. He learns their personalities. He advocates for them publicly without embarrassment. The man who made presidents squirm was now lying in the grass giving a rescued pig the belly rub of its life. And he has never been more himself. But here's the story that gets me every single time. His three-legged rescue pit bull Dipper, hit by a car as a tiny puppy on the streets of Brooklyn, lost his right leg, spent his days in a shelter waiting for someone to choose him. Nobody did, until one afternoon, Jon's children, just 6 and 7 years old, wanted to raise money for a shelter called Animal Haven. So they baked cupcakes, set up a little table outside, and sold them to strangers on the street. That day, the shelter brought out Dipper and placed him right in Jon's lap. Jon sat there with the dog for 2 whole hours, and he never left without him. Dipper came to the Daily Show every single day for 12 years. He met presidents, he met Nobel Prize winners. He once put the fear of God into Malala Yousafzai, the bravest woman on earth, and Dipper didn't care one bit. But here's what Dipper really did. He showed Jon Stewart, the man who had grown up feeling abandoned, what it felt like to be chosen unconditionally, every single day, without any agenda. A three-legged dog who had also been abandoned, who had also been left behind, found the one human in the world whose heart needed exactly what he had to give. And when Dipper passed, Jon broke down on live television. Through tears, he said, he was ready. He was tired, but I wasn't. The tribute raised $60,000 for Animal Haven in just days from over 500 people who had never even met Dipper but felt like they had. Because Jon had loved him so openly, so completely, so without shame, that millions of people felt that love too. And then Jon looked into the camera and said something that I have never forgotten. My wish for you is that one day you find that one dog that is just the best. After the Daily Show, Jon didn't disappear into comfort or quiet. He spent years, unpaid, unrecognized, fighting for the 9/11 first responders who were sick and dying and being ignored by the government they had risked everything to serve. He showed up again and again, testified before Congress, wept publicly, refused to stop until they got their benefits. Then he fought for veterans exposed to toxic burn pits, showing up for people who couldn't fight for themselves. The same way he showed up for Dipper. The same way he shows up for every rescued animal on that farm. Jon Stewart once said, "Comedy is my passion, but my purpose is saving those who cannot save themselves." 25 million a year, 22 Emmys, the most powerful desk in late night. And he chose a farm, a pig who needs belly rubs, a three-legged dog who needed someone to sit with him for 2 whole hours and never let go. That's not a celebrity. That is human being who figured out what love actually looks like and chose it every single day for the rest of his life. I'm Simi. This is Rose. We'll see you in the next video.